from breeders to get a good animal, when it's simply just not the case. We have a lot of animals here that deserve good homes, or maybe have come from breeders but just weren't helped along the way. But with some training, some passion, and some patience and dedication, they can be normal animals just like your breed dogs or anything you can purchase from a breeder.
According to ASPCA, approximately 6.5 million dogs and cats are taken into animal shelters annually, and 3.2 million of these shelter animals are adopted. While many of them are adopted into their forever homes, 1.5 million of these animals are euthanized. Because of the large number of euthanization, nonprofit animal and rescue shelters fight to save their lives.
We are not a 501c. We fully fund the rescue ourselves. My husband's a veterinarian. And we pull dogs from shelters that are injured and on the euthanasia list for either injury or behavior.
Well, we're actually run by the county, actually the sheriff's department. So we take all the strays, court cases, when people pass away, we take their animals. We have farm animals, but we don't take owner surrenders. We usually hold around 65 dogs at one time, not counting cats or chickens and pigs and everything else.
So the organization has been here since 1964. It's an animal shelter that strictly deals with dogs and cats. So we take owner surrenders for Hernando, Pasco, and Citrus County. And then we also take transfer-ins from Hernando County Animal Services. So we try to serve the community in the Tri-County area, also by helping animal services with decrease their rate of euthanasia. So we take some of their animals in to help them with space as well.
The two main reasons animals end up in shelters are because they've either been surrendered by their guardians or picked up off of the street by animal control.
Usually that's when the sheriff's department gets involved, and then they get seized from the sheriff's department and come here, and then we have to hold them until the court case is done, and depending on what the judge awards, if they get the animal back or we keep them and put them up for adoption.
Well, first we do medical assessment, so we do whatever they need medically first. And then the behavioral ones are usually put into foster homes where we can figure out what the behaviors are. So if there's food aggression, they have to work on that. They're not adopted out until they're adoptable. So, sometimes they're in foster homes for several months even.
Animal cruelty is now a felony in all 50 states. The PACT Act is the Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, which could make animal abuse a federal crime. Convictions could carry up to 7 years in prison.
I think it is effective. I think it's the first step in the right direction, but I still believe there's a lot more change that needs to be made. Sometimes people are not aware that neglect is considered abuse. So not, providing them with the proper shelter or the food, or just kind of abandoning them is animal cruelty as well. So getting people within the community to start stepping up and speaking out when they notice or hear something.
It depends the county. You have to call the county animal control. So if it's Hernando County, you call Hernando County Animal Services, and they'll direct you to the sheriff's office, and then they will send out an officer to investigate. And that's usually the case in most counties. It's county animal control or the sheriff's office.
We also offer a lot of enrichment. That's a big focus of mine with animals in the animal shelter. I kind of compare it to daycare, and as far as settings with medical cases, like passing germs through one another, but it's also considered a jail sense to where they're in a limited kennel for limited time, so you want to get them to be outside and exercise as much as possible. So volunteers play a big part in that. We're limited as far as our staff is concerned, but when volunteers play a big part, or we have a large surplus of them come in, animals are exercised. Maybe we can teach them some basic routines to encourage or increase their potential adaptability.
Dogs trust you with their whole life, so never abuse that trust. They may not be our whole lives, but they make our lives whole.